Editor's note: Seeking Alpha is proud to welcome Stephen Fiorillo as a new contributor. It's easy to become a Seeking Alpha contributor and earn money for your best investment ideas. Active contributors also get free access to the SAPRO archive. Click here to find out more. Since Mr. Doug Lawler took the reins, Chesapeake Energy, CHK, has gone from a broken company to a broken stock. I don't believe the true value of Chesapeake's accomplishments are reflected in their stock price. In my opinion, this is a company which has reversed their trajectory from a treacherous downward spiral to one which has turned the corner, becoming financially stable and retiring debt from their balance sheet. Wall Street and many analysts still treat Chesapeake as if it has been infected with the plague and it can't be resurrected. The mantra has been that there is an abundance of natural gas in the United States which has been associated with being evil. I have a news flash for everyone who has condemned Chesapeake Energy. Renewable resources are not going to overtake fossil fuels anytime soon, and self-sustainable energy is all but theoretical at this point in time. Electric cars won't destroy the energy industry, and the rise in renewable resources will not outpace the decline in coal. As the world population grows and third world countries develop and industrialize, there will be a need for increased energy consumption. Coal is slowly being phased out, and the void between a reduction in coal and an increased need for energy will be filled by renewable resources and natural gas. Chesapeake's income statement illustrates a company that has truly turned the corner, and, in my opinion, if this were a technology company, the valuation would be much different. Over the past 3 fiscal years, Chesapeake has gone from losing $14.57 billion to making $949 million. In addition to this drastic upswing in net income, their revenue has increased from $7.87 to $9.5 billion from 2016 to 2017. Chesapeake has also delivered earnings beats over the past 4 quarters while beating estimates in Q4 of 2017 by 20% and Q1 of 2018 by 20.59%. This story reminds me of Advanced Micro Devices, Nasdaq, AMD, in many ways. AMD went from losing $660 million in 2015 to making $43 million in 2017 and increasing revenue from $3.99 billion to $5.33 billion over the same time period. AMD was a struggling company caught between Intel and Nvidia, trying to carve out a niche in the industry against 2 dominant forces, and finally the market turned, and AMD became a 7-bagger, from as low as $1.99 a share on November 9, 2015 and climbing to a high of $14.12 per share on February 20, 2017. Chesapeake has all the firepower to follow AMD into the promised land, and I believe they will get there despite the concerns about debt on their balance sheet. Source: Stephen Fiorillo. Data source: Yahoo Finance. Yahoo Finance. The reason I don't believe natural gas is the enemy Chesapeake operates in the oil, gas. Just as humans need food, shelter and water to live, society needs energy to operate. The amount of energy the world consumes will continue to increase, and the population expands and nations continue to develop. Thinking very simplistically, each human utilizes energy. Life in 2018 is much different from life in the 80s, 90s and 2000s. Technology has shaped society, and most new gadgets involve the utilization of energy, from wearable devices to tablets and smartphones. The common theme among these is that they need to be charged, and electricity is created from energy. Let's look at infrastructures of businesses. We are living in a world that is tech-heavy, and businesses are consuming more energy as technological footprints expand. There is a direct correlation here. On a global scale, an increase in people increases the amount of energy used. I have broken out 5-year increments from 1990 to 2015 showing the correlation between global population and the amount of MTOE million tons of pill equivalent used for the year. Over a 20-year period, from 1995 to 2015, the world population increased from 5,330,943,460 to 7,383,008,820. Source: Stephen Fiorillo. Data source: Worldometers. Over the same period, the amount of energy consumed increased from 8,084 MTOE to 13,393 MTOE. Source: Stephen Fiorillo. Data source: Enerdata. Future growth of natural gas. As the demand increases due to the needs of a larger population and the industrialization of underdeveloped nations, LNG will play a significant role in meeting the energy demand. What is currently seen as an abundance of natural gas in the United States will become a major export in the form of LNG to meet the energy demands of the future. A commodity that is currently frowned upon has the potential to become a cash cow not only for companies in the exporting and transportation industry, but also for producers. Chesapeake Energy is the second largest producer of natural gas, and the 13th largest producer of oil and natural gas liquids in the United States. Chesapeake is in a unique position to profit from a changing energy mix on a global scale. BP has published their Energy Outlook 2018, which provides important insights as to where they see the energy mix in the future. On slide 80, BP indicates that the consumption of natural gas in 2016 was about 350 BCFD, and that it is expected to increase to 500 BCFD by 2040. Production will increase accordingly to keep up with demand, and the U.S. will remain the largest producer of natural gas. Slide 88 of the Energy Outlook. BP discusses their projections for LNG exports and imports. Currently, North America exports roughly 2 to 3 BCFD of LNG, and this is expected to double by 2020. In the year 2040, North America's LNG exports are projected by BP to increase tenfold to roughly 20 BCFD. On the import side, China, Asia, India and Europe are expected to increase the amount of LNG they import by around 71%, jumping from about 35 BCFD to roughly 60 BCFD. On the domestic side, utility heavyweight Dominion Energy, D, is placing a large emphasis on the importance of natural gas in their future plans. Dominion Energy's gas infrastructure is currently segmented into transmission and distribution. On the transmission side, they operate one of the largest natural gas storage systems in the U.S. with 15,000 miles of pipeline running through 11 states, and their Cove Point LNG import facility is now online. In distribution, Dominion operates 51,300 miles of pipeline, which provide energy to 2.3 million natural gas customer accounts across 5 states. Dominion Energy recognizes the continuing importance of natural gas in their energy mix and is positioned to meet the growing demands domestically and internationally. On May 1, 2018, Sarah Rankin of the Associated Press reported that Dominion Energy stated that they plan to build at least 8 new natural gas-fired plants over the course of the next 15 years as they shift away from coal. It is a likely scenario that, as the new natural gas plants are brought online, existing coal and oil-fired power plants will be retired. Dominion's energy mix will drastically change by 2033. Renewables will grow from 3% of their 2017 energy mix to as much as 9%, while natural gas is expected to increase from 38% to 59% over the same time period. Dominion is projecting that their footprint in coal will shrink from 21% to 15% under these projections. Dominion Energy's chairman and CEO Mr. Thomas Farrell was interviewed by Jim Cramer on Mad Money May 2, 2018, where he discussed Dominion's operations, including the new Cove Point facility where Dominion will export LNG. Mr. Farrell, in reference to the newly constructed Cove Point facility, stated, "Ships have been on the way already to both India and Japan under 20-year long-term capacity payments." The liquefaction project overview of Dominion's Cove Point shows that they have estimated that an average of 0.75 BCFD of inlet gas will be liquefied and that there will be 5.25 MTPA of LHG output from the facility. Chesapeake's numbers and possible scenario to retire debt. On the Q1 conference call, Chesapeake reported that they earned 34 cents adjusted earnings per share, which was a 48% YOY increase, and $609 million in free cash flow, which is a 27% YOY increase. On Friday, May 19, 2018, Chesapeake held their annual shareholder meeting where they reinforced their commitment to reduce debt by $2-3 billion by the end of 2018 and enhance their margins and cash flows on current production. Chesapeake has reduced 48% of their total leverage since 2012 while reducing their capex budget by 83% from 2012 through 2017, with production remaining flat. Chesapeake Energy Operations location name acres 12-month barrels of oil production 12-month MCF of gas production gas barrels of oil equivalent Louisiana Haynesville Shale 395,000.000.00 404,300,000.00 67,400,000.00 Ohio Utica Shale 1,100,000.00 5,800,000.00 296,400,000.00 55 million.00 Oklahoma Mid-Continent 1,500,000.00 10,500,000.00 152,700,000.00 36 million.00 Pennsylvania Marcellus Shale 795,000.00 327,000.00 746,300,000.00 124,400,000.00 Texas Eagle Ford Shale 270,000.00 46,700,000.00 234,900,000.00 85,800,000.00 Wyoming Powder River Basin 307,000.00 2,700,000.00 20,200,000.00 6,000,000.00 Totals 4,367,000.00 66,027,000.00 1,854,800,000.00 374,600,000.00 Source: Stephen Fiorillo. Data source: Chesapeake Operations. Chesapeake Energy debt maturity profile reported in Q1 2018 earnings call. Source: Stephen Fiorillo. Data source: Chesapeake 2018 Q1 earnings presentation. I do not see debt as being the end of Chesapeake Energy as many have speculated. Chesapeake currently owns 22 million shares of FTS International, NYSE, FTSI. At the close of business on Friday, May 18, 2018, FTSI closed at $21.44, making Chesapeake's position in the company worth $450,240,000. Chesapeake has continuously stated that they are interested in an asset sale of $2-3 billion and currently have many interested parties. Since commodity prices are increasing, let's speculate and say a deal is done on the higher side of the range at $2.75 billion. Between the asset sale and the shares of FTSI, Chesapeake will have an additional $3,200,240,000 in cash on hand. Over the next 4 fiscal years, Chesapeake owes $3,145 million in long-term debt. if Chesapeake were to sell their shares in FTSI and book an asset sale at $2.75 billion, they could retire the next 4 years of debt in one shot and still have $55,240,000 in cash left over. This isn't taking into consideration that they're cash flow positive and turning a profit. Hypothetically, if Chesapeake were to retire the next 4 fiscal years of debt in 2018 from an asset sale and selling their stake in FTSI, this would reduce their long-term debt from $9.201 billion to $6.056 billion, with no debt would be owed until 2022. In 2022, a considerable sum of $1.868 billion is owed, but in 2023 Chesapeake only has $338 million maturing in $0 in 2024. In the fiscal year 2017, Chesapeake had a net income of $949 million, and in Q1 of 2018 their free cash flow was $609 million on adjusted earnings of 34 cents per share. It isn't crazy to think that Chesapeake can continue to create efficiencies that will be realized in their bottom line. Hypothetically, after an asset sale, Chesapeake should be able to continuously generate $750 million in net income on a yearly basis, which I feel is conservative. $750 billion per year over the next 4 fiscal years would generate $3 billion by the start of 2022's fiscal year. Since there would be no debt owed under this scenario, Chesapeake could use their earnings to retire more debt, buy back shares, reinstate a dividend, or conduct an acquisition if they found something of interest. If I were to create a model after the asset sales and the retiring of the first block of debt, it would look like this. Source: Stephen Fiorillo. In years 2022 to 2024, Chesapeake has $2.206 billion of debt maturing. Under this hypothetical situation, this could be retired at the beginning of 2022 from the $3 billion of earnings Chesapeake would make from 2018 to 2021 fiscal years, since the debt obligations would have been retired from the sale of FTSI stock and an asset sale. After retiring the debt from 2022 to 2024, Chesapeake would still have $794 million left over, with $3.850 billion in debt remaining on the books that would mature from 2025 to 2027. At this point, I would love to see a share buyback of $500 million, and $150 million allocated to a special dividend for shareholders, while the company retains $144 million on the books in cash. Source: Stephen Fiorillo. Conclusion: if Chesapeake were to follow this hypothetical scenario and model, they could retire all their debt from their balance sheet, reinstate a share buyback program, and either declare a special dividend or an actual dividend to the shareholders without breaking a sweat. I believe Chesapeake is just a broken stock at the moment, and one that is undervalued. This is a company that is a true turnaround story and has the firepower to take care of their financial obligations while positioning themselves to deliver shareholder value in the future. I am bullish on natural gas and the growth prospects of LNG exports from the United States. I don't believe anyone can contest that on a global scale we are consuming more energy year over year, and that this trend will most likely continue. I believe LNG will play an important role in rebalancing the energy mix abroad and domestically as coal is phased out. I believe that the worst is behind Chesapeake and that they are in a unique situation to capitalize on a rebalancing and growing global energy mix. Disclosure: we are long CHK. I wrote this article myself, and it expresses my own opinions. I am not receiving compensation for it, other than from Seeking Alpha. I have no business relationship with any company whose stock is mentioned in this article.